Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the second part of Angular 11 with Electron.js. So if you haven't watched the first video yet, you can go ahead and watch this. This is really simple. I just created a bare minimum Angular app with the Angular CLI, and then I just added Electron.js functionalities or capabilities to that app, so you can run the Electron app right away. Okay, in this second part, by the way, you can directly clone this part, clone this repo using this link. So I have already posted the link in the video description of my first part, and in this part we are going to see how we can package and bundle our application and make the build for Windows and Linux. Okay, so let's get started. So here is my source code, guys, and I already done the changes that are needed to bundle this application. In this video I'm going to explain you all of them. Okay, so let's see. So first of all, if you're following me, then you can clone this project as I mentioned earlier. So you can just get the source code, open it in VS Code, do npm install, and you're ready. Okay, once that's done, then I'm going to show you what changes you need. Okay, so first of all, you can see this is my directory structure of Angular application, where I have this directory for distribution of Angular app, and then these are all the files you are familiar with if you're using Angular. Apart from that, we have added the electron main.js file. So this is the entry point for our Electron application, and here we define the path to index.html, which is going to be inside dist somewhere. Okay, now first thing I changed is that I changed the angular.json file. So earlier it was building my Angular application inside dist, and inside that it was building it was creating a demo folder, and there will be having the app. Okay, but I changed the name from that directory to this. So now our output of the Angular will be reside in dist/Angular build. Okay, and similarly on the same note, for the Electron we have this Electron build folder. So you have the build packages over here. So at the end of the at the end you will be having the builds over here, Electron build and Angular build. So this is the location where you can share your build to other colleagues, and this is the Angular build. So yeah, that's all. So this is the only change in line number 16, where we provide the options to the Angular CLI, and we say that my output path is going to be this. So Angular will be building this, compiling the app and generate the index.html and all those JS files inside this directory. Okay, so this is the only change in the angular.json file. Apart from that, I have modified, since I have modified this Angular build directory, I mean the output directory, I do have to change the path in the electron main.js. So you can see earlier it was demo, if you have seen my first video. So I've changed it to Angular build, so that it is it makes more clearer build path. Okay, so you can get understanding by looking at the path itself. So this is the Angular build path directory. Okay, so that's the only change in electron main.js as well. Okay, once these two files are changed, then you can again go ahead, as I said, you can go ahead, you can do npm run build. So what this is going to do is this is going to call your build command, and it will generate the build in Angular build directory. So you will have all the files, or your app compiled output will be reside in this Angular build. So you can see the Angular build directory just got deleted, and once the build succeeds, then it will be recreated inside dist. Okay, so it will be done in a minute. That's all. Since we have we have our Angular application ready, let's forget about Electron build for now. And then we have assets, where I've added 3 icons. So yeah, that's another change. In the source assets folder, I have added 3 icons over here. This is for Mac, then this is for Windows, and this is for Linux. Okay, so these are my 3 icons. I just downloaded the PNG file from iconset, and I converted ICO and ICNS from the online converters. Okay, so just to have a nice little icon to our application. Okay, that's all. So now our Angular build is ready, and it's the time to check our Electron app. So like I said in the first video, the command is npm run electron start. Okay, when we do that, this will be called, and you can see it over here. If I go over here, then you can see yeah, so our Angular app is ready, okay, and it's working. Now that's it, and I already covered how to get to this step in the earlier video. Now let's take a look at the changes I made in order to package the application. So first thing I did was I have a couple of changes in the package.json file. So first thing is the dev dependencies, so where I've added Electron Packager as a dependency. So for that you just have to go to let me just navigate to Chrome and just search for Electron Packager, and then you can go over here. This is the node module Electron Packager, and you can install it in the dev mode, or you can yeah, do these things. So first of all, save dev. This is recommended if you want to use it in the script, and then we can also use this. So you can try this command, Electron Packager -g, so that will do as well. Okay, so I've added both. I have added it globally as well as I've added as a dependency. Okay, so now we have once you do that, once you fire these two commands, I probably should have listed those things. So let me just go over here and let me just add it to documentation real quick. So I have added couple of documentations. I have updated the readme so that you can refer to it directly. So I'll just add another things like install Electron Packager, and these are the commands for that. I think the proper way to do it is to make them bold. That's all. Okay, so these are the two commands, guys, for Electron Packager, and yeah, that's all. So once you do that, once you fire the Electron Packager command, these two commands, okay, then you will have this dependency over here, as well as you will have Electron Packager on your command prompt. So if you just type Electron Packager -help, then you can see all the options over here like this. Okay, so for this you need to have this command. Okay, yeah, now that's done. Then let's take a look at other things. So you can see I've added couple of scripts over here. So part 1 already covers this area, okay, and in this part 2, these are the main focus areas that I have to show you. Okay, so you can see I've added these three entry points, or these three scripts, which will allow us to build this application for Windows, Mac and Linux, or basically pack this application for Windows, Mac and Linux. So for this I have referred the nice written blog of, I don't know, Christian Engel, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So this is the blog where, you know, I've used the scripts that he wrote, or whoever the blogger is wrote these scripts. So I've just used the scripts, and that's all I did, and it works like a charm. Okay, I modified them slightly, and I will show you what I did, what I changed in that. So yeah, let's go back to our app and let's try to understand the command for Windows. And Mac and Linux is going to be, you know, more or less similar to Windows. Okay, so you can see over here we have ng build prod, sorry about that, we have ng build prod -- base ref. So this is the first part in the command, is just, you know, we are trying to build the Angular application just in case we missed it. So we can build the Angular application first, and then we will pack the Electron, we will make the Electron build. Okay, so this is the two-step process. The first part is just, you know, making the Angular build, and we have a compiled output of our Angular app. Okay, now let's take a look at second app. So you can see I have this Electron Packager dot means the current directory. So this is my root directory. So Electron Packager is going to run inside this directory. Okay, and then we are passing some parameters. Okay, so let's I want to, you know, I will just take this command in Notepad and I will explain everything to you, what I understood. Okay, so let me just do that, and you can see buildwin is our command name, and then we have ng build prod. So this is the first part of the command, guys. So this is just gonna, you know, just gonna make Angular build, Angular compilation, or you can call it Angular build. The second part is the Electron Packager command, where dot represents the current directory, demo app. This is our app name. So I'm just gonna follow the pattern, like, I don't know, this is our app name. Dot refers to current directory, or let me just move it another. Yeah, that's better. Dot represents the current directory in which the Electron Packager command will be executed. Demo app is the app name. Override tells us that tells the Electron Packager that we have to overwrite the build if present. Okay, and then we have a long list of ignore, which is not there in case of the blog I referred. So in this case it's not related to Angular, so they don't have included this ignore command, but we have to ignore it in case of Angular and Electron, because if I go back to code, then you can see we have a lot of files which we don't want as a part of our application or end product, right? So these are the development area files, so we don't want them in production. Okay, that's why Angular creates separate production environment or production files over here, and then we just want all these files and the files that are really our application related files, not these things like node modules and all those things. Okay, so for that I have this I've created this long list of ignore. I had tried to make an regular expression pattern, but I'm not sure it is working with all, so instead I just added each entry manually. So I mean it's okay if you guys can create regex pattern, then that's probably you can share it in the comments below. But yeah, and since it is fixed structure, Angular follows, so we have this e2e directory that we don't want to include. We have this node module directory. So if you take a look at the command now, then you can probably get it's really easy. I added them sequentially, so I don't want e2e folder, you can see over here. I don't want node modules folder, I don't want source folder, and I don't want any of the files except package.json and electron main.js. So I have added all those files over here, the rest of them. Okay, that's all. So don't freak out with this long command. It's just the long list of ignore files that we don't want to include in our application. I just wanted this electron main and package.json. I think I don't need a package.json, but I think that's something that we can keep or live with. And yeah, that's that. And yeah, so that's it. So if I go over here, then we have this ignore thing done. So this is just to ignore the files, so I'm not gonna write the comment. Now we have this ASAR, then we have this platform, then we have this architecture, and then we have this icon, and then we have this prune true. Okay, and then we have this out, and then we have this version, and then we have this version string file descriptor, and then we have this version product name. So as I said, I referred the blog, and these are all the commands mentioned in the blog. Some of them I also have to look for. Let's take a look at ASAR. What is ASAR? So if you go to Electron Build Packager, or we do have now CLI, so we can just go over there and we can see Electron Packager help, and you can see here we will find something like ASAR, and so you can see whether to package the source code within your app into an archive. So this is the option. You can either pass ASAR by itself to use the default configuration, or use the dot notation to configure a list of subproperties like ASAR unpack subdirectory. Do not use ASAR and its subdirectories simultaneously. So this is where we will be having an ASAR file generated if we provide this option, and inside that our source code will reside. Okay, so I will show you that in a couple of minutes. Okay, apart from that, we have this platform that is self-explanatory. We are building from Windows, and this is the Windows command. So that is Win32. In Linux it is different, and architecture it is IA32. This is something that you can again go over here and search for the architecture available architecture. So you can see all or one of this. So you can have x64 architecture, you can build for 32-bit as well as 64-bit, or these are some like small devices like Raspberry Pi or something like that. So these are the different options available. You can use this command Electron Packager help to read them out and modify this command according to your need. Okay, so that's all. And then I have this icon file. Now remember, we already have built our Angular application, so we have this compile Angular code which resides basically in this dist Angular build directory. Now by default, when we have assets, then Angular build basically generates an assets folder inside the output directory. So we have this asset folder over here, and that's why I'm referring to dist angular build assets over here in the icons. So if I mistakenly if I just do this earlier rather than building this, then it will fade over here. Okay, so you can decide what you want. Then we have this prune true, and you can read all the other options as well. So these are just the options that you can use with Windows. So you can see over here we have all the mentionings over here, so you can go through that. And this is our output directory, so dist/electron build, in which our application will reside. Okay, so that's all. So that's all I did basically. If I just can show you the change request, so this is still in, I am yet to check this in. So let's quickly revise what are the changes that we need in order to implement the packager or integrate the Electron Packager with our app. In the Angular.json file, I just modified the path to make the build separate, Angular build and Electron build, instead of Angular app name only. And then I have this Electron, I have to modify this Electron main.js for to accommodate the change. So I have modified it from demo to Angular build directory. Then I have added the let's take a look at this package.json. I have added this you can see I've added this dependency Electron Packager, and then I have added these commands for Mac, Windows and Linux build, and that's that. So I just modified the ng build command to have a production build at the end. Then apart from that, I've just updated the documentation of the Angular, okay, or the readme of this repository basically. And then in the index.html, we do have to use, instead of fav icon, we have to use this asset/icons, that. Okay, and I believe that's all you need. Now let's take a look at, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reveal this in Explorer, and let's go to dist, and I will just delete these two directories because we don't need them, and let's build it. So the build commands, you can go over here, readme. If I can show you real quick, documents, preview to slide, okay, and this is how you're going to build the Windows application and Linux application. So I'm just going to copy this command, npm run build windows. So clear the console and npm run build windows. There we go. Now, as I said, the first part, we are going to have a Angular application ready in the first process, and then we'll have Electron Packager building our Windows application. Okay, that's all. Yeah, so now it's compiling and building the Angular app. Now the Angular application is ready, and then it is now building for platform Win32 and this architecture 32-bit using Electron version 11.2, which is the current latest version. Okay, so, and there we go, wrote new application to dist/electron build. So if I just go back to this folder, then you can see we have Angular build over here, Angular build, and then this is my Electron build, and where I have this Win32, and I can double click on this. You can see icon is there. If I go to properties of this file, let's take a look. So you can see if I go to details, then you can see those details, file name, file description is there, and then all those things if you really want to. Okay, and if I just double click on this, then you can see our Angular app is ready and working. If I can just show you the console, then this is how it is. Okay, there we go, our app is ready. Now in case of Windows, we can build it for Windows as well as Linux. So if I just do npm build Linux, then we'll be having the Linux build ready for us. So if you want to build in chain, then you don't probably want to waste the time in again recompiling the applications. So you can let's add another command. Actually, let's do that. So because probably it's like we'll be building it for Windows and Linux. So I'm just going to add another command real quick. So I'm just going to copy this thing, and I'm just going to paste it over here, and the name I will be giving is Linux. Let's call it Linux. Okay, and in this case I have to build the Angular app again in the first case. In the second case, I'm already building it for Windows, and in the third part I want to build it for Linux. So I'm just gonna copy this thing and paste it over here. Okay, that's all we have to do. So this is really one big command for Linux to make the app for Windows and Linux available, to make it the app available for Windows and Linux. Let's test that out real quick. So I can go over here. I'm saying that I don't want anything. Let's make a fresh build for Linux. Okay, and that's all we're gonna do. So instead of Linux, I wanted Linux. Is the spelling correct? W-I-N-U-X. Yeah. So you can see now we have three commands over here. First part is going to build our application in Angular. Second part is for Windows application build, and third part is for Linux application build. Okay, so this is Linux, this is Windows, and this is our Angular. So we don't waste time, firing these two commands simultaneously, and then we have to build the Angular app multiple times. Yeah. So now at the end of this, we'll be having 3 builds, one in the Angular build and 2 Electron builds for Windows and Linux respectively. That's okay. So our Angular app is ready. Now our Electron app is ready for Windows. You can see Win32. Now our Linux app is also ready. So if I just go back to that directory, then we have the Electron build. You can see the timestamp. Okay, and if I just let's just run Windows over here. So I'm just going to double click on that to make sure that everything works. And here is our Angular application for Windows using Electron, and I'm just going to copy this Linux application, and let me just go to my VMware, and I'm having Ubuntu over here. So I'm just going to paste that directory over here. You can see. And then I will just open the terminal and I will say /demo app. Once I do that, here is my application in Linux. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this, guys. Now since I already have everything ready, now we can create really quick something, because basically we haven't used any Electron related or file system data in Angular yet. So in the next part, that is part 3 or upcoming parts, I'm just going to explore the Electron APIs and try to make some cool app for the demonstration purpose. Okay, so stay tuned for that and have a great day. Thanks for watching.